it from, but they were in government that time. If they think the figure is significant and is something that has to do with the election malpractice, they should have gone to court at that time. But what we are saying, and for goodness sake, like you said in the beginning, you go to bank many a times, the technology fails. Even now, as we are talking here, because of technology fails, I missed some of the things he was saying. So how will you now make an act to say that it is only when somebody is electronically accredited that he can vote? Can't you think of failure? Why can't we sit in Abuja or Lagos to be thinking we will legislate for somebody who is in Gashua, who doesn't have the internet we take for granted here? I mean, legislation is meant for those people who are downtrodden there. Elite must have a responsibility to know that when they are making legislation, they should think of the ordinary Nigerians who are not privileged as they are. But making laws to think that it's only applicable to cities like Abuja, Kano, Lagos, and Enugu, it will not work. And that is what we have in this president. Mr. Musa. A president that is concerned about the downtrodden.
Mr. Musa, thank you. We'll have to go on a quick break here. When we come back, we'll seek to get clarifications in a very short time from the two of them as regards this ECOWAS protocol, which says 66 months. But we've been hearing 60 days back and forth. So we'll get clarification on that. We'll be back after this break. Please don't go away. Welcome back. Now, in the course of this conversation around the signing of the electoral amendment, the amendment to the electoral bill, we've had people mention the ECOWAS protocol, which says that no significant alteration should be made to electoral laws within the ECOWAS sub-region within anything less than 6 months, unless majority of the parties are in agreement to it. But we had several people mention 60 days and all that. But law, ECOWAS protocol says 6 months, unless majority of the parties agree to it. Ilemona, is there a problem with that? I mean, we're less than 6 months to the elections.
How come all of a sudden President
you were the one
Buhari,
that even mentioned the 60 days.
How come all of a sudden President Muhammadu Buhari is concerned about ECOWAS protocols? When the ECOWAS court gave an order mandating that he should release Colonel Sambo Dasuki from detention, should release him on bail, and pay him a certain amount in damages, did he obey? Is Colonel Sambo Dasuki not still in detention? So how come at the time his AGF explained that this was persuasive and that we're not necessarily bound? They dismissed it. This administration dismissed. So I'm saying it's not a case of two wrongs making a right. It's a case of pointing out the two-facedness and the hypocrisy with which the Muhammadu Buhari administration insists on governing this country. That's what it is about. It's not about two wrongs making a right. It's about pointing out that this is a hypocritical, it's a hypocritical desire to find an excuse not to do the right thing. Now, quickly, before I go back, I would like to address Kogi. I'm from Kogi State, so that interests me, right? The amended Electoral Act does not say 7 days within which to conduct a new primary in the case that a candidate who is leading dies. It says 21 days. It's not 7 days. It says 21 days. It's important that when we come to the public to discuss these things, it's important that we stick to what is true and what is right.
All right, thank you. Mr. Musa, real quick, your reaction.
Let me say that Mr. Onoja is a young person, and I think we are the emerging leaders of this country, so at least some decorum is expected from us in the way we talk about our leaders. I find it quite uncharitable for a young man to use strong word as Hippocratic against a president who is enough to be his grandfather. Anyway, that is just by the way. I hope we take the correction. But now, on the issue of the ECOWAS protocol, I think he's assuming that the President Buhari did not comply with the order of a community court in somebody Suki's case. That is not an excuse for him to say that the president cannot comply with another protocol. And anyway, there are two protocols. And we know, I think he should avail himself with the provision of the Treaty Implementation Act, which is a Nigerian legislation, I think passed in 1991, 92, 93, within there about. From there, we can be able to see whether the Community Court Protocol has followed the provision of Treaty Implementation Act for it to take effect in Nigeria. And also the protocol about the election, whether that has been. So it is from there that we'll be able to see whether the two protocols are at par as far as issue of legislation in Nigeria is concerned. But be what it may, the interest of ECOWAS in making provision for the 66 months is concerned about peace. You just don't make legislation at the middle of the game after prime nomination has been completed. You have now started campaigning, and now you said that, okay, the new law we are going to conduct this election is this one. Like Emeka Assent said here, if you pass such legislation, when will the parties be able to acquaint themselves with the provision of that act? What of the litigation lawyers that will go to the election petition tribunal?
Thank you very much.
When will INEC be able to...
Thank you, Mr. Sunusa. Musa is a member of the All Progressives Congress. I'm afraid we really have to end it here. Thank you, Mr. Sunusa Musa, a member of the All Progressive Congress, and Mr. Ilemona Onoja, a member of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you both for sharing your thoughts. And that's our show today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.